Good evening. Well, if you enjoy goals, you're certainly going to enjoy the next hour. 14 fresh ones coming up for you to see on the big match tonight. We will feature the battle at the top of the First Division with a spectacular main match between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Then the leaders Ipswich against Tottenham, accompanied by some hard-hitting words from both managers. And then to the leaders of the Third Division, Charlton, and their visit to Sheffield United. All this and the news headlines from Jim Rosenthal, starting with the League Cup final that finished Liverpool 1, West Ham 1. Jim.
And what late drama there was at Wembley. 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of extra time producing that replay. A penalty with the last kick of the match, and referee Clive Thomas at the centre of controversy. He accuses John Lyall, the West Ham manager, of calling him a cheat and reports him to the FA.
Well, what a weekend we've had. Our original plan, I should tell you, was to cover Orient against Queen's Park Rangers until QPR went down with that virus infection. So we switched to Arsenal against Birmingham. At midday today, that was called off. But in no way could we have bettered the main match that we can bring you now. Aston Villa against Manchester United. Villa lying second in the table this morning. United, who've not scored in their last 5 games. Pictures from ATV, commentator Hugh Johns.
Well, this Villa side just about picks itself these days on the strength of 7 wins in a row. But Ken McNaught had to limp out of last week's game at Sunderland. His injury has responded to treatment, so Villa are unchanged. McNaught's partnership in defence with Alan Evans has been just as valuable to Villa's drive for the championship as the joint haul of 27 First Division goals provided by the attacking partnership of Shaw and With. Manager Dave Sexton is under a lot of pressure at Old Trafford, but he too makes no change as he invites this side to end a run of 5 games without a goal and just 1 point from a scoreless home draw with Spurs. Badly messed about with injuries, United have used 23 players already this season, and Albiston and Coppell are the only men to have played in every match. The referee, Mr. Darryl Reeves of Uxbridge, gets us away. Aston Villa, claret and blue jerseys, white shorts, attacking the goal to our right. Manchester United changing into a white jersey uniform this afternoon. Well, that was a poor attempt at a back pass from McElroy. Now it's Bremner for Villa, getting tight into the corner. Villa with a lot of support here, of course. Mortimer. First shot on target. Wilkins gliding that off to Jimmy Nicholl. Steve Coppell. First test for Gary Williams. And the throw-in. And a good touch for Jimmy Rimmer. Swain now for Villa. Hitting it deep. Chip in here for Shaw. Cowans. Ball skidding off Buchan. Villa ball. For With. Mortimer. Touch then for Bremner. Here's Cowans. Morley gets his first touch of the game. Macari up. Mortimer knocks it down for Cowans. Oof. That was a whack then. From behind. Lou Macari. Free kick just outside the box. About, what, 4 strides? Area that we can look for. Maybe somebody to have a direct poke at goal. Mortimer and Cowans discussing what's to be done here. Gary Bailey wants 4 solidly in the wall, protecting his right-hand post. And Cowans tries the shot. Touch from Mortimer. Cowans delayed. Just a tiny touch. Cowans' shot just sneaking past the post. Touch from within. It's a good one for Mortimer. Off to Morley. Lining up on the back post. He tries the drive. And Bailey had it and lost it. Fine attempt then. Fine attempt from Tony Morley. Certainly surprised Bailey. They were expecting a ball across the box, but he tries a first-timer. Bailey got it, lost it, and was lucky that one of his own men, Alveston, was there to hack it away. Moran to George. There's got to be a foul against McNaught, surely. Nope. So, Swain now. Shaw breaking away from his marker. A little touch for With. Mortimer in the clear. Chip across. Oh, fine bit of work then by Bailey, because Cowans very nearly connected with that. There goes Mortimer. Williams. Cowans has called for it. And Swain starts to break on the right. Going against Alveston, looking for the cross. It's a good one. With goal. Beautiful. 1-0. Well, Peter With really made that look easy, and that was not. Kenny Swain, this break on the outside, races past Alveston, a perfectly flighted ball. And look at the way that Peter With picked his spot just wide of Bailey's stretching right hand. Lovely goal, Peter With. Aston Villa, 1-0. Goal number 14 this season for Peter With. He's 13th in the First Division. And that clearly will have a nice, tidy, settling effect on Peter With and his Villa side. Just over 16 minutes gone. Looking to deliver, far post is Jordan. Jordan beat Evans in the air then. Nicol policing him. Mortimer infield calling for it. And Swain wanting it on this side. Now, is he going to have another run and delivery? He's going against Alveston. The chip in, and Shaw, surely. Well, Shaw had to be offside, surely. There was no flag. So we can just put that down as a total miss by Gary Shaw. But once again, look at this fellow Swain setting up the chances. Trickles that through. There's Gary Shaw. Had to be offside, surely, but no. And he missed. Morley attacking Nicol. Corner given. Morley was expecting a free kick. At least he got something out of it. Nicol figures it's a goal kick. So we've got Morley, number 11. And Cowans is lurking over in that area as well. Chips it straight in. With. Oh, what a goal! How did he manage to turn 180 degrees and pop that one in? Peter With is second of the game. 2-0 Aston Villa. And it's all down to the big fella. They didn't get the ball clear, but look at the turn he gets there. Beautiful goal from Peter With. 2-0 Aston Villa. So, with 28 minutes of the first half gone, Manchester United are heading for another defeat. Whilst Aston Villa are heading for their 8th win in a row. If they get it, that's going to equal the best run ever in the club's history. And Peter With's on a hat-trick now. Bremner got up well. Alberston, Birtles, Alberston. Birtles tries it. That's the sort of luck that poor Gary Birtles has had since he left Forest for that enormous £1.5 million fee. He goes in for the shot, and Rimmer's equal to it. Swain going after McElroy, pushed him away. Free kick. And that's the signal for Kevin Moran to release himself from defence and go up to the far post, and the signal for Peter Withe to go back with him. Wilkins chipping it near post. Birtles helps that on, and Withe puts it behind for the corner. Good job he didn't have a rush of blood to the head at that moment. Figured he was on a hat-trick and put it in the wrong net. And he knew what he was doing. Gives the corner away. That's a good-looking cross. Jordan. Cross across to Koppel. And again. Unlucky for Steve Koppel. 2 bites of that cherry, and neither of them counted for him. There's the first cross in, and he tries a shot. There's the second one, but he couldn't do anything. Meanwhile, Villa charging back with Mortimer. Shaw with... Oh! And still the pressure on. Cowans feeds Morley. Little touch along the ground. Oh! And that did take a little deflection away from Bailey. And he was on his hands and knees and not too sure what was going on. Morley... Well, I think Bailey must have got his fingers to it. So here's the corner, and Cowans floats it across, and Shaw's up. England under-21 striker, saved by the England under-21 goalkeeper. And Wilkins again, on for Jordan. A lone figure up front. Stopped by Evans, of course. Birtles. It's Jordan. Birtles. Jordan, and that really sold Wilkins in a lot of trouble. Gave Mortimer an easy bite at the ball. Now, Koppel. Goal kick. Koppel running it over the line under the challenge of Tony Morley. So we go into stoppage time now at the end of the first half. We haven't had the trainer on, so there can't be any real hold-up. Swain a chance, but referee Reeves points to the tunnel, and Villa fans rise to applaud their team off the park, and particularly they'll be looking for the number 9, Peter Withe. 2-goal scorer, Peter Withe, that puts Aston Villa right in the boss seat here against Manchester United. Sends Villa off for a half-time cup of tea. The scoreline that reads Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 0. So we're away in the second half. Manchester United attacking the goal in which Aston Villa have scored twice. Manchester United 6 consecutive away defeats. Going to be lucky if they get anything out of this game now. Aston Villa very much in the boss seat. That's Alberston. Fouled. Free kick. And McElroy will take the corner. The free kick. Almost as good as a corner. It's a corner now. That came off McNaught. And United supporters down that end of the ground, encouraging their side as much as they possibly can. McIlroy with the corner. Macari a touch. Will come to Koppel. Good cross, far post, and there's McIlroy. And there's the goal from Joe Jordan. It's 2-1. And the United fans have absolutely risen up out of their seats for that one. They really got a close-up view of it. So that travel down was worthwhile. Koppel then, a lovely bit of football. Knocks it far post. And we look for McIlroy to get the touch on the far post. And then Jordan, his marker not near him. A touch from Rimmer and a gift for Jordan. So for the first time since they scored at Old Trafford against Birmingham City, United have scored and Joe Jordan's the man that's done it. His 8th goal of the season. Alveston clears. Swain heads forward to Bremner. That's Birtles down for Wilkins. Chip ball to Jordan. In for Koppel. Morley a touch back to Williams. Williams could be in a bit of bother here, preventing the quick throw-in to be taken by Koppel. So the ball down to Nicol. Jordan a touch off to McIlroy. Good cross in. Fine try too. Little Macari very nearly sneaked in. McIlroy did well to get that cross in. Macari hurling himself there, didn't get enough pace on the ball to beat Rimmer. But this is suddenly a very different game. And that was Peter With being crushed by Martin Buchan. And Swain with the free kick for Villa. It's Dave Sexton over in the left of the group as we look at United manager. That's Cowan. Oh, what a fine try by Cowans. Good reaction save by Gary Bailey. Two young players with razor-sharp reflexes. Cowan's the first timer. Bailey really went across to claw that out of the air. Nicol plays it. Moran being impeded by With. Nicol quickly on to Birtles. Back to Koppel. On to Wilkins. And now Koppel again. Getting to the line, looking for the cross. It's a good one, Jordan! Oh, fine goal, Joe Jordan! Equaliser. As good a goal as Joe Jordan has scored ever, I would suspect. And once again, that man, Steve Koppel, set it up. England international gets to the line, gets in behind Aston Villa. Here he comes now. Little jink to the line. Look at the power of Joe Jordan as he came in on this one. Bang! 2-2. So, the two number 9s have scored the goals that are up on that board. Peter With, 2 for Villa. Now Joe Jordan has scored his 2nd for Manchester United. That's Cowans. Now Morley. Morley running at Nicol. He's got Koppel there in support. Looking for Peter With. Right into the hands of Bailey. Bailey well positioned as With came in behind Buchan, right on his near post. And Villa come again through Mortimer. This one in for Shaw. Oh, and that just hung in the air. 3-2, Gary Shaw puts Villa in front. Just got a little toe end to it. And that tantalisingly hung away from Bailey. There's Shaw, and it seemed to hang there, and Bailey just couldn't make it. So Gary Shaw knocks in his 18th goal of the season, and now it's the Holt End's turn to chant and roar for their hero as Villa go in front, 3-2. Well, what a fine way to hit back within, what, a minute, 2 minutes of Jordan scoring. Bremner. Nick on for Swain. Ball into With. Morley's free on the far side. It's Mortimer. He's going to drive one. Dennis Mortimer. Villa skipper. Figured he might be onto something there. A rising shot. It didn't clear the bar by much. Put in the header forward to Cowans, and Nicol sweeps in for United. And Wilkins delivers to Koppel. Koppel, 2 men around him, a little toe poke forward to McIlroy. Is Nicol to deliver. Looking for Jordan, and Rimmer was there first. Actually, Rimmer may have hurt his eye in training this week, but there's nothing wrong with his vision this afternoon, or his timing. That's With. Down for Bremner. Taking on Albiston and running him. And getting the cross in, and Shaw! Across the face of the goals. Morley to knock it in again. Looked useful. Shaw. Knocked out by Buchan. Corner. Shaw to take the corner quickly then for Cowans. To Shaw again. Across the face of the goals, and a shot from McNaught. Pushed away by Bailey. He must have seen that desperately late. Fine effort by big Ken McNaught. Would have been looking for his first goal of the season, in fact. And he strikes it beautifully well. And Bailey reacted magnificently. Now Cowans floating that high to McNaught again. Moran, the pressure coming on him from With. And pressure which gets no support from the referee. Free kick, of course, given. Jordan helps that on. McNaught heads clear. That'll drop down to Koppel. And Birtles gives United fresh hope. Touchdown to Koppel. And again, Koppel trying to get there. And he's pointed to the penalty spot, has referee Reeves. And United have the chance to draw level. No hesitation by referee Reeves. Let's have a look at it again as the ball comes into Koppel. He goes in there. And it's here that Williams is adjudged to have fouled him. So, looks like Sammy McIlroy for 3-3. And the tension, you could cut this with a knife. Referee Reeves still not sure everybody's outside the penalty box. McIlroy. 3-3 it is! Well, that's unbelievable. Without any goals at all for so long, and now they scored 3. There's the third one from Sammy McIlroy. 5 games in a row, these United supporters have been supporting their side without a single goal to show for it. And here at Aston Villa, in the second half alone, Manchester United have come from 2-0 down, going 3-2 down, and now they're back level at 3-3. And that, remarkably, was the result up at Old Trafford earlier this season. And is this going to be a turn-up for the book? Are Aston Villa going to drop a point at home? Evans getting a touch on there. And those saves that Gary Bailey has made earlier in the game, increasing in importance as the time ticks away from this match. at the other end of the field. Old Trafford fans are up on their feet and roaring for a side that has given Dave Sexton one of the biggest boosts of his life, I suspect. Villa dropping a point at home. Tommy Kavanagh, a word from Roy McLaren. Oh, what a turn-up for the book. Aston Villa, who looked as though they had it won, 2-0 at half-time, with Peter With's 2 goals. Joe Jordan striking back early in the second half to level it at 2-2. Gary Shaw putting Villa in front, and then McElroy from the penalty spot in the dying stages of the game. So we've got 3-3 here, just as it was up at Old Trafford earlier this season, and Aston Villa have dropped a vital point in their chase for the championship.
Well, it was a wonderful match, of course, but what is more important for Villa, it was a point lost in their race for the title. And I'll be showing you the top of the table after our next match, which is Ipswich against Spurs. But, of course, it was also a great point for Manchester United and for their manager, Dave Sexton. There's been so much speculation about his future at Old Trafford. Here's what he said tonight.
Well, a great point for us. You know, we've lost the last 3 games, and so you're always worried about stopping the rot, although we've only lost them 1-0. But that point today really has done us the world of good, and hasn't done me any harm either.
How bothered are you by the criticism that you seem to be getting at the moment?
Well, personally, I'm not bothered, because I'm in a position where it's happened to me before and it'll happen again. And if you're the manager, you've got to have broad shoulders, because you're the one who takes the criticism. And so I'm used to that, but I do worry about the effect that it has, A, on the players, and B, on the board of directors, obviously. But you know, the lads have been terrific, and the crowd have been terrific. I mean, here today we got the most tremendous support, and they sort of willed us to get the equaliser.
And you don't ever feel like pulling out?
No, in no way, because what is the point of me telling my lads to play for 90 minutes, as they did today, and equalise in the last minute, if I'm contemplating that sort of thing?
So you're a happy man tonight?
I'm more than happy, I'm delirious.
Okay.
And a defiant Dave Sexton there as well. Well, coming up next, that Ipswich v Spurs game, also Sheffield United against Charlton. There's certainly no shortage of goals in those two. The news as well after this break. Welcome back. Next, it's Ipswich against Tottenham at Portman Road. Spurs, in fact, were the last side to beat Ipswich. They did it 5-3 at White Hart Lane in December. But Ipswich have since gone 18 games without defeat to establish their place at the top. The pictures are from Anglia Television and our commentator, Jerry Harrison.
Well, for their 50th game, Ipswich keep the side which knocked Forest out of the cup. They're looking for their 100th goal of the season. They've gone 19 games without defeat. But as Bobby Robson never tires of stressing, they've won nothing yet. Spurs have lost only once in the last 15 games. They need the points in a bid to secure a UEFA Cup place, and they were the last side to beat Ipswich, and indeed they put 5 goals past them. With centre-half John Lacey still injured, they keep the side which drew with Stoke in midweek. The referee here is Ray Toslem from Market Harborough, about to start yet another special occasion here at Portman Road, on a pitch which has certainly taken a battering, with Ipswich Town in the white shorts to kick off. There's very little wind. The pitch has taken a battering, but so too have Ipswich in the last few games and days, and so too does Galvin there. And Osman, who's very close, of course, to suspension already with 18 points, must have been close there to a booking. But as we were saying, Ipswich have been under a lot of pressure. They seem to have stood up to it quite well, but Spurs have come here to attack because they say that's the game they play best, the game they know best, and they feel they've got a very good chance as Archibald goes in on this one. Butcher gets it. Two sides with tremendous goal-scoring ability. Butcher wasn't, Brazil rather, wasn't offside, but he couldn't actually make the run forward. Mariner, a difficult one as Hoddle covers. Oh, Mariner gets that one, the student gives it away. Good play by Mariner, who's chopped, is down, but the game goes on. In for Gates, but he hasn't perhaps got enough support with Mariner out of the game at the moment. There's McCall out there. And Hoddle holds him up. Free kick. Mariner is on his feet, but it took him a little bit of time to recover from that one from Houghton. And he'd taken, of course, a couple of heavy knocks in the cup replay. But Butcher is up, Osman is up. There's Mariner leaping. And it comes to Brazil. Mills here, giving himself room. But it's Hoddle's ball now. And space for Perryman. Hoddle drives it forward. I think that was aiming for Crooks, who was on his way, but he couldn't possibly get there. Brazil a touch on. Mariner will chase it, putting McAllister in two minds. Good piece of thinking there by Mariner. Mills and Tyson. In for Gates. McAllister behind him. Gates across, a tricky one, it's in! Eric Gates, number 100 for Ipswich Town. And I think he'll admit that he was originally intending a cross, but it doesn't matter. It's a very, very good turn away from McAllister. Good sprint, a drive, and the goalkeeper's on the near post. It's over his head and into the net. So, really, their first assault on the Spurs goal. 8 minutes gone only. Eric Gates, number 13 of the season, 100 for Ipswich. Paul Mariner in the dugout there, getting some treatment, I think, to a knock on his back. Mills here, Brazil on that right touchline. Archibald really after him, and Mills goes down with a knock on the face. And a free kick to Ipswich, with Mills, the Ipswich captain, still down. Archibald's really fighting hard to get a hold of it. Then there's a bang as McAllister comes over and Mills goes down. Mick Mills is leaving for the dressing rooms. There's a problem there. It looks the way he's holding his arms as if he might have damaged a shoulder. 25 minutes gone only. Kevin O'Callaghan . 16th time he's come on as substitute. 8 full games, but it does mean, of course, a reshaping of the Ipswich side. With Walk, it seems, going to fullback. Handball, they cry, but no, says Mr. Tosland. And there was a kick by Galvin on O'Callaghan. A great attempt there, cleared, not off the line, but certainly stopping it from going in by Houghton. Great attempt by Tyson. While he was hobbling on the touchline, Tyson came very close with that direct shot with Danes out of goal to scoring the second for Ipswich. Houghton doing a fine covering job. O'Callaghan, Roberts and Crooks coming to him. This is Tyson. And what a challenge that was. But the flag was up for offside by Tyson. That was the first infringement, but then there's a booking. Tyson was certainly fouled. It is a booking, but he was offside, so it's a free kick to Spurs. Perryman trying to find Houghton out there. Brazil coming back to cover. Hoddle is square behind him here. Ipswich mark up on the edge of the area, but Spurs have a lot of players forward. It's up to Hoddle now. Doesn't succeed. And it comes to Murin. Mariner goes down the left. It's him against McAllister, with Spurs bringing a lot of players back fast. And down he goes. It's got to be a penalty. That was crazy for Spurs. It was 1 against about 5. And Mariner drove into the penalty area. McAllister went after him and brought him tumbling down quite unnecessarily. Into injury time and penalty-taking time. John Walk against Danes with an injured shoulder. Well beaten. The shoulder really hurts now, I bet. John Walk does it again. His 10th success on the penalty spot. His 31st goal, and just at the time that Ipswich needed it. Great confidence there. Up goes Mariner with McAllister as the whistle blows for the end of really a fairly spicy first half. If this was meant to be a rehearsal for the FA Cup final, I'm not sure it's the sort of FA Cup final we'll want. It started very well for Ipswich when Gates put them ahead after 8 minutes. Then the leather began to fly, a lot of knocks, a lot of late tackles. Mills went off. John Walk had to come back to right back after the Ipswich captain was taken off with what appears to be a damaged shoulder, badly bruised at the moment. There were 1 or 2 bookings, there could have been a lot more, and then in injury time, Walk puts Ipswich 2-0 ahead from the penalty spot after McAllister brought down Mariner. So it's Spurs to kick off the second half here at Portman Road, trailing by 2-0. Let's quickly go to the Ipswich manager, Bobby Robson. Bobby, first of all, how is Mick Mills?
Well, he's got a dislocation of some sort of the shoulder, and he's gone to hospital. I've just watched the television there, Jerry. If Tottenham Hotspurs will not play football with us, this is going to be a terrible match. I mean, we've already lost one. We're lucky to have other players on the field of the play, and that sort of tackle for me is absolutely disgraceful. And unless the referee does something about it, this isn't a football match. Now, we come here, we want to win the championship by people coming here and wanting to play football with us.
Brazil and Miller. And it's Spurs throw. Hoddle. Oh, that must be a foul. No, he's in possession, so play on. Brook. Tyson coming across. Hoddle. Tyson sticks with him. Tyson again. And forward goes Gates. Mariner on the right. McAllister goes over. There's Brazil on the left-hand side. There's space here, and he's on his left foot. Well, Brazil so menacing on this left-hand side in the second half. Very unselfishly set up by Paul Mariner. And what good work there was before that by Gates and Tyson. They look easy, but there's very little target to hit. And Brazil is pinpoint on it. And Brazil's 20th goal of the season surely kills off any possible chance Spurs might have had of getting back into this one. Hoddle swinging it wide for Walk to intercept. Galvin just behind him. Perryman. Crooks asking for the chip forward. He gets it. And a good drive, a good save, and McCall gets it away. Well, that was good play by Spurs, and Crooks denied there by Cooper's fine reactions. A lovely turn here. On the left foot, terrific save, and McCall was there to sweep it up. And the corner taken by Hoddle. And McAllister got a powerful one in. That would have eased his worries a bit if it had gone in. Don't think that made too much difference to where the points are going. As the referee blows for the end of another game, which in the end wasn't a special occasion here, but at least we did see some good spells of football in the second half after the game looked like disintegrating. Alan Brazil, after some excellent work by 2 or 3 other Ipswich players, scored the third for them, wrapping the game up. Final score, Ipswich 3, Spurs 0.
Well, a bad day for Spurs, and there were certainly some strong words by the Ipswich manager, Bobby Robson, at the start of the second half there. He was highly critical of some of Tottenham's tackling, and indeed, 3 of the Spurs players, Perryman, Galvin and McAllister, were booked. And that might come as a surprise to those who think of Spurs as an attractive footballing side. So we went to the Spurs manager, Keith Birkinshaw, for his reaction.
This is a man's game, and I think that players these days get too petulant about tackles. I don't think it's half as hard as it used to be, football, whatever anybody says. And I think if people reacted like men instead of like spoilt kids, then there'd be nothing out there that would be untoward, really. If there's a ball there to be contested, then you've got to go in and contest the thing. Players roll about in agony and people get booked and so forth, and I think it's about time that we got rid of all the histrionics and got on with the game.
So react like men and not like spoiled kids is the Keith Birkinshaw philosophy. And incidentally, the news tonight about Mick Mills, who went off injured, is that he's got a dislocated shoulder and some bad bruising from that incident you can see here, and is likely to be out of action for 2 or 3 vital weeks. While that Ipswich victory and the point drop by Aston Villa, which we've also seen tonight, leaves the top of the table showing Ipswich 1 point ahead, 1 game in hand. Nottingham Forest have moved to 3rd after their 4-1 win against Brighton. West Brom lost at Manchester City. And Southampton are 6th there after a 2-0 win at Stoke, where Kevin Keegan scored both the goals. Now to our final match, and we go to the top of the 3rd division for Charlton Athletic's visit to Sheffield United. It was a game covered by Yorkshire Television with the commentator Martin Tyler, and Sheffield United are wearing the broad stripe down their shirts.
The firmer ground is, the result of it is clearly towards the wings. It is heavy through the centre. Here's John Ryan, who's got plenty of strength. Garner's gone through the middle. Here's Gibbons, touching on for Hatton. The first chance coming to Bob Hatton. And how well he took it. 3 minutes gone. Gibbons playing his part with a delightful flick. Hatton sized up the situation and belted it over Johns just under the bar. Here's Moore. Beaten by Berry, then Warman's header. Well, here's Moore again. Ryan looking for Gibbons, who looks for Hatton, and the old 1-2 put in. Paul Garner. .33 minutes gone. Gibbons and Hatton combine again. Beautifully knocked on by Gibbons. Hatton wasting no time. Off the underside of the bar. Garner follows it in. The way back is cut off for Houston. To use Kenworthy, and they're playing a dangerous game here. And Walsh, can he get the shot in on target? He can. And Charlton claw their way back, courtesy of a gift from Sheffield United, who really should have known better than to try and play football in their own penalty area or just on the fringes of it. Stuart Houston turning it to Kenworthy. He tried to turn. Tideman was on him in a flash. Hales had the first chance, blocked by Conroy, but all credit to Paul Walsh here. He kept his head and kept his feet. And Charlton have pulled it back to 2-1. Down from Gibbons. Certainly Sheffield United continue to look dangerous when they get forward. Wigan allowed to go on. Just check for Gibbons, but he's made the opening. And Don Gibbons, 2 assists, and now 1 down to his own name. 12 minutes into the second half. United followers hail a new hero. The conditions held the ball up, but Gibbons got past Naylor and beats Johns on his near post. The rain has relented, and in all fairness to the referee, the weather bulletin all day has been for improved conditions as the day progressed. Walsh trying to improve Charlton's condition, and they have the chance because of the push on Hales by McPhail has been adjudged by Mr. Dobson as a penalty to Charlton. going in there. McPhail coming on over the back of him. Penalty. Now Derek Hales, who's the Charlton expert from the spot, he missed at Barnsley earlier this season, but he doesn't miss here. So there's half an hour remaining. And the man who was fouled gives Charlton hope once more.
Well, sadly for Charlton, it was a 3-2 defeat for them, but they do stay in the at the top of the table. 5 teams beneath them, believe it or not, either didn't play or didn't win. So the race for the First Division title goes into its last lap. Ipswich 10 games left, Aston Villa 9. And at the moment, it's Ipswich who are showing no signs at all of flagging. Good night.
Mills and Tyson. In for Gates. McAllister behind him. Gates across, a tricky one, it's in! John Walk. Against Danes with an injured shoulder. There's Brazil on the left-hand side. There's space here and he's on his left foot.